Good morning, good morning, good morning. Happy Monday. TERRI HARDIN, Walt Disney's legendary Imagineer here. I'd say ultimate puppeteer. Well, a lot of the stuff I've done is puppeteering. I've done some acting. I've done lots of voiceover work. I've done Ghostbusters, Men in Black. I designed the dragon underneath the castle in Paris. Yes, it takes a team, but I'm the one who did the concept art. Well, not the concept art, but anyway, I'm the one who did it. It's my fault. And then the one who put it in there for me, my good friend Matt McKim. It does take a team to create that attraction, but it is mine, and I'm claiming it. How are you today? And today is a solemn yet unbelievable visual spectacle. The Queen is, of course, having, well, she's not officially having it. The royal family is having a funeral for the Queen. And I have been up since 2:30 this morning. Not completely up. I put it on because I wanted to see it from start to finish. I am one of these people that think that this is something that cannot be missed. And boy, was I right. More than tongue can tell. I have never seen anything like this. I went to see the Queen's Silver Jubilee when I was 19. When I was 19, I decided to backpack through Europe because I felt like the one thing I wanted to do after graduating high school was see the world. So I had two friends. We spent 2 months there backpacking all through Europe. It was amazing. I'll never forget it. It's a trip I highly recommend before you get tied down with bills, budgets, kids, marriage. You just never know. Once you get out of high school, you don't know which direction your life is going to lead you. So go do something cool. Save up for it. I did. At 18, I worked 3 jobs and saved all my money. And with my friends, we flew over. And then I mimed in Piccadilly Square and I drew chalk drawings on the streets of Paris. These are things you just can't make up. You do these in experiences that more than tongue can tell. But one of the reasons I wanted to go in 1977 was it was the Queen's Silver Jubilee, and I had never experienced a monarch before. I had never seen a real princess or a real queen or a real king or real coaches that were covered in the beauty that all of the glamour and dazzle, and I didn't get to I had never stood outside with the people to cheer her on. And there I was in 1977, surrounded by the beautiful country of the UK, Britain, and all people who had come for her Silver Jubilee, and stood at the gate close enough to actually see her. And I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. However, I didn't take a picture, which I was in this stage in my life where I didn't think taking pictures of people was that important. Stupid, so stupid, because I don't have a lot of documenting of that time, and I just want to kick myself. So don't take lots of pictures now that you can. I mean, that's right there in your phone. You can selfie yourself to death, whatever. But it was just such a wonderful experience. I got to lay flowers by the gate. In fact, every time I see people laying flowers on the gate in celebration or in mourning, I just remember the tips of my fingers tingle because I can still feel my flowers that I set to honor the Queen. I took a picture with the Royal Guard. What do they call them, Liz? I see you're here. But with the wonderful hat, and they say that you can try and make them laugh, but they never laugh. That's so true. And I thought it was kind of mean to try and make them laugh because it is their job not to laugh. But they seem to take it in stride. Very kind. The Grenadiers, right? They're Grenadiers. And my goodness, like 200 Grenadiers today. I could not get over how many people filled the United Kingdom, filled London. I mean, London is not that big, and the UK is not that big, and yet it was packed. Did you see any of it today? I'm sure they're going to be retelling and reshowing clips of it, but it's just nothing short of spectacular to see all of that. I feel for you who live in London if you need to get around. which I hope that London allowed you not to have to get around. But I know there are people that have to get around, like those who drive the buses or the taxis or the Ubers or they have to serve in the restaurants, because there are hundreds of thousands of people there, not just dignitaries, but people from all over the world, and they're crammed in like a brick of people. Speaking of a brick of people, I talked about Disneyland on Saturday night being a brick of people. It just sort of moved like this, all as one. And when I watched this today, it was more than tongue could tell. I also noticed, and this was very impressive to me, when I was a little girl, I actually saw the funeral for John F. Kennedy televised on TV, because my mom was a I mean, she adored John F. Kennedy. I mean, if you didn't, you didn't, but she really did. In fact, she actually was an illustrator, and she did some illustrations of Bobby when he was running. But she loved the Kennedy family, and she loves the Kennedy family, I should say. But we watched it, and people did a lot of walking. In America, they do a lot of walking. But I noticed that in the UK, for this funeral for the Queen, it's not marching, but everything is precision. I didn't get to see a lot of people just walking. I saw everything was timed out. The walk was timed out. Everybody together as they walked with the Queen from point A to point B. Allow me to just say that, because it looked like that was miles. Maybe it was just a little wet, but there was this beautiful countryside, and there's the procession, and there's all these grenadiers, and then there's no people, no people, no people. And then all of a sudden, as you get closer to Windsor Castle, lots of people, lots of people, lots of people, but still nothing broke their stride. And we got to see Emma, the Queen's horse, and we got to see the two corgis on the steps, and we got to hear about who was who and who are these people. And I watched it on the BBC, and I was just blown away by the fact that from 2:30 in the morning, and I didn't stare at it like this. If I did, I wouldn't be able to speak today. But I was like this watching it, and then I would go like this. Oh, what did I miss? What did I miss? What did I miss? And then I would sort of wake up and watch a little bit more. And then you know how you are when you're watching it that early. It's like, oh my gosh. But this commentator that was speaking, and I did not catch his name, but I watched it on the BBC, and several things fascinate me about the BBC. I've got to tell you, especially the BBC broadcasting to me here in America. Okay. I figured that if you were in London watching the BBC, it could be a different television experience from being not in London, seeing the BBC's America channel. Does that, you follow me on that? So what happens in a lot of with Americans is they have what's called a bug. And when they're televising something, the bug pops up here and opens up. Like, let's take NBC. The peacock will appear, boof, and then go, and then it'll say NBC4, and then there'll be some sort of advertisement. You know what I mean? Tune in next for the next show or whatever, and it'll go, or the channel 5 will go whoop and pop here. And then it will say, you're watching the Queen's funeral. Stay tuned for more after, or something. It has some sort of bug on the bottom. Or it's a bug up here. This right here is a bug of sorts, my logo. But the point is there's always some sort of station identification. None. Nada. Nothing. Nor did the man say anything about the BBC. Well, I watched this from 2:30 in the morning, and it ended at 9-ish. I could not tear myself away. I have been completely I can't get over this. It is so beautiful. And I had a ringside seat. Gorgeous shots of the UK, beautiful countryside, beautiful shots of this procession, beautiful shots of inside the castle as they remove the Queen's coffin, and the precision of which the people who are going to have the honor of carrying said coffin, precision walk to it, turn and prepare for it. Then they take it out of the vehicle, I'm just going to say vehicle, forgive me, and then the precision in the turning. And then they shoot close up, and you can see how the men have intertwined their arms underneath the coffin to touch each other. It looks, I mean, it's not like I'm used to in America. They're kind of like this, when they're carrying someone they love. Not that there's less love, it's just this detail that I kept seeing of the hands on each other's shoulder as they're holding the queen. And now they got to go up all these stairs. And you can tell that this is got some weight to it, but they never change their faces. And it's just precision, 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 precision as the man tells you what you're looking at, what's going to happen next, what is happening in the background. A shot of them carrying it up the stairs, and you can see through the arch the people out beyond the arch. Just gorgeous, killer shots of how beautiful London looked. In fact, I was in touch with Liz Reed. She's on here. And Liz Reed, among other people of my dear friends in Britain, were telling me, thank God the weather held up, because apparently it was supposed to rain, or it could rain. It is London after all, and the UK, and they do get lots of rain, unlike California. But it held. And everybody looked great. It looked like it was a comfortable day for everyone because everyone's in their best. I began to think to myself, what level do you have to be, or how do you get considered to be some of the key people that were in this procession? The driver of the vehicle which holds the queen, the men who carried her, the shot of all of the people that took care of the queen and her horses. That was a beautiful shot of Emma and the man with Emma, and then all of the people. And then earlier there was the staff we got to see, and it was just the BBC just covered it so beautiful and never for hours mentioned who they were. I'm telling you, I'm going to look at the US. I recorded the US. They're going to be bumping that every 30 or 4, like every 30 seconds, we're probably going to see something. Maybe it's not that bad, but I mean, I can't imagine that they don't have their little bug right here the whole time it's being covered. We'll see. We'll see if they just left it. But oh my gosh, I have never been so touched by a group of people in my life. I'm just really impressed with how I felt like I was right there. And honestly, if I was in London, I would have opted to watch it on this channel because you didn't get a better seat. Now, of course, you can't get your live picture to say I was there, and that's important. But I would have been torn. I would have really been torn because the coverage was exquisite. I've just never seen anything like it. And I don't know that I'll see anything like it again. It was spectacular. The king held his own, and that's his mom. So he was probably very sad. But royals have to keep on a face, don't they? And although people from London tell me it's not all trumpets and roses, we know that. We know that as a monarch, she's got a lot of things that people are saying she represents that they're not thrilled with. But today they all seem to put that in a back pocket and just allow this to occur. Allow all the dignitaries to come from all over the world to pay their respects and to respectfully let the queen go out in the manner for which she is entitled. I often think that a lot of people, when they look down on certain funerals, once they've collected their wings, they might just say, "Ooh, a lot of fuss." But I don't think the queen did that. I think the queen was very proud of everyone as she looked down, and she said, she probably was just nodding and saying, you did it. You did a great job, everyone. It looks beautiful. You're taking care of the people. The people are very excited to be a part of it. Bobbies were everywhere, calmly making sure of keeping the peace without infringing on the grief-stricken public or those that had come just to be able to say they were there. Whatever their reasons, there were hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people. I just couldn't get over how many, but I knew there would be. And it's just taken my breath away the whole time. I really could not peel myself away from the television set because I just was so fascinated on how beautifully everything was precision. In the US, we do a lot of walking. There was one sequence where they were inside the chapel, I guess, area. I don't know the areas very well, so feel free to correct me. I want to pay it proper respects. But the and you had not the king, but you had like the rest of the royal family, and they were walking. It was the first time I saw people walk without precision. They were just walking to get from A to B. And it was the first time I saw that in the whole time. I just couldn't get over how everything was paced, every outfit was, and they faced a certain way. And if they turned, it was done a certain way. The horses were even behaving, the children were even, it was just, it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah. No matter what your political views are, that was amazing to see. And I'm definitely going to go back and watch what I missed because wow. Whew. More than tongue can tell, guys. More than tongue can tell. Anyway, that's what's that's what's in my wallet right now. Unbelievable. And look, here's Liz. So Liz and I were chatting a bit via Messenger while watching, just before I was preparing to come on, because I wanted her to know that my heart is with everyone in Europe and in the UK. And I'm honored to know them, and great to be a part. So it was, and Evan says he's watching it right now. The Queen's Guard and Grenadiers wear the bearskin hats. Exactly. My husband first called them beefeaters, but that's not right. That's more the royal flat cap, isn't it, Liz? The beefeaters the Grenadiers just look spectacular. And if you watched the BBC, they would zoom in and you'd see that they had these weapons tucked under their arm. So if anything had happened, that was enough deterrent to say, you really shouldn't do anything adverse because we've got a lot of firepower here right now and we are ready. And it was amazing. And it was subtle because if you were looking from afar, you may not have noticed that these men were armed, but they were. And you were like, wow, it was done well. It's done really well, Liz. I was very impressed. Darren says BritBox is also streaming the event live, also no bugs, and with a historian commenting probably the BBC feed. It just is fascinating to me. Guys, I was up at 2:30 in the morning. And I, in the beginning, told myself in the back of my head, they'll say it eventually, but they never do, like the whole thing. Just think of those hours, 2:30 to 9, just for economy's sake. Unbelievable. And I wasn't streaming. Sometimes when they stream, they don't do that. They don't put the bugs. But this was a live feed. And I really thought, especially for the American viewing, because you've got BBC American, you've got BBC, like BBC London, BBC UK, and then you've got BBC for America. And I thought for sure they'd do it for us, but they didn't, Darren. It was amazing. Just amazing. Hello, Diane. I'm watching the BBC feed on YouTube. Okay, well, that's good. It's amazing. It's just amazing. It fills my whole TV screen. There was no room. There was no space. There was no bug at all. No nothing. And I just couldn't get over it. I felt like I had this amazing window and I was like this, watching and waving and cheering and throwing roses, hoping to hit the hearse, because a lot of people would throw roses, and try to hit it to show their love. And I was like, wow, just amazing, wasn't it? Isn't it amazing, Evan? Terry, can you tell us how your affection for the monarchy was formed? Well, Disney since a baby. Okay, so Disney was in my life since I was a baby. Been drawing since I was 3, because my parents had to pin me down somehow, and they found out if I had enough paper, I wouldn't do things like stick a fork in the light socket, stuff like that. But Disney, the first movie that I watched was Snow White, and here's a young princess who has a queen that doesn't like her. And then we watch Sleeping Beauty, and Sleeping Beauty has a king and a queen who love each other very much, and they love their daughter, but they have to hide their daughter away so that Maleficent doesn't get her. But you see lots of royal stuff. My favorite, one of my favorite things of all time is the Rodgers and Hammerstein Cinderella, which I told you about. So I think little girls often pretend they're princesses, but I think in the back of your mind, you kind of think that they're not real and that this is a Disney thing, that this is a fairy tale. You look at the book and it says Grimm's fairy tales, things like this. So I think when you're a little girl, you dream about being a princess, but I think in the back of your mind, they're kind of up there with unicorns and Pegasus. And so the first time we were able to see a feed from the UK, I saw a real queen and I saw a real young queen. I saw a queen that was not like I imagined a queen to look like. I saw Queen Elizabeth II, and she was a girl. She wasn't a lady, she was a girl. She wasn't my age, I was much younger, but she still was like a teenager in my head. That's a teenager and she's a queen. And then they showed like princesses that were older than her. And it was like, whoa, and it was really surreal for me to see. And they showed her, because the Silver Jubilee is like, how many years is that? I'm sorry, I don't know, like silver, gold, blah, blah, blah. I'm not really good at that, but I think there was a Jubilee that happened before that. Like, I think it was the one before silver, maybe 25 years or something. Maybe not. I don't know. Anyway, it was before that. And I saw it on TV, and I think we saw it in black and white. And it was dazzling then in black and white because we didn't have a color TV yet. And I can't remember which one it was, but I remember seeing it. And I said, oh my gosh, there's horses and coaches and guards. And where is this place? London, And I made it, I drew a line in the sand and said that was where one of the first places I wanted to visit when I could, because I wanted to see what a real princess, what a real queen looked like. And I think it's the Disney stuff that really dazzled me about the royal family. Now, understand, I'm living here in America. Okay, I don't live in the UK. I'm not ruled by the Queen. I'm not ruled by the King. I'm not ruled by the royal family. I don't know how. I know they have mixed feelings, just like we have mixed feelings about our government here. So I knew that I was on the outside looking in, and I was a part of that. I knew the puppeteers from what was that show that, sometimes when you want it to come in your memory, it doesn't, but it could be that I haven't had a lot of sleep in the past few hours. But uh, it was a TV show that they did in the UK, where they did these very sort of grotesque puppets. Spit and Image. You remember Spit and Image? Love that show. I love that show. And I remember the royal family. I really didn't love that show because they poke fun at them all the time. And I think them poking fun endeared the royal family to me even more, even though for the royal family, this was a show they would have loved to have seen get struck from the records completely. They were not happy about the show. But I remember this amazing episode. I've never forgotten it. And I know a lot of the Spit and Image folks because they came over to the US and I worked with them. But she was at a table and they were talking in this voice like this. And she needed to get the mail out, and they would slide a letter. Her assistant would slide a letter over, and she would go kaplink, and then they'd show it, and she'd go kaplink like that. And it was the side view stamp of her in the crown after it was done. Hilarious! It was so funny, and I thought, oh my gosh, this is adorable. But they didn't really like it. In fact, I can't remember which royal it was. It wasn't her, but it was one of the royals, like a cousin or a nephew or something, who said, they would really like to see it go. He had beautiful red hair is all I remember. And he said, yeah, no. Yeah, we're not real fond of spitting image, but I thought it for some reason endeared them to me more. But I could also tell that I don't know the whole story. And when I was on my way on Thursday, the day the Queen passed, I was actually in the car with two of my friends from London, and they live in the heart of London, two lovely people. And we were all sad that she had passed. But one of the two said that, she had mixed feelings about it, because she is of the opinion that there are certain things that definitely need to be changed now that the Queen has been laid to rest. And it looks like to me, what I've seen of the king, and again, I'm in America, not in the UK. My friends in the UK will set me straight or let me see, but he said that there's going to be some changes in the royal house. So I think that there will be some things that the people who were kind of upset with the royal family might not be as upset, because it sounds like the king is hearing what you have to say. And I only hope that Chapek takes a note from the king in that, because it really looks like the king is listening to you guys who are talking about some of the things that you think are adverse about the royal family, and that things that need to be fixed. And it just looked to me like he was listening. Time will tell. Of course, time will tell. But I'm very curious to see the changes. And today, while speaking with all my friends in London, they're telling me that they are just ready to see what's next. Now that this procession is happening and is over, they are ready to get back to normal and to see what is in store for them. And of course, I would be the same way. And I wish them all my love. And I hope it works out for everybody. You can't please everybody, and your opinions are your opinions. And when you're a leader, it isn't easy to lead, and you just have to do the best that you can, no matter what. So, but I thought when the king spoke that he made some real good sense. And my friend was saying that she had heard a couple of things that he said that made her feel better. So hopefully that'll be for the rest of the UK. Love the UK. Thanks for that question, Leo. Thanks, Evan. She says, yes, you guys are so sweet to each other. Good morning, Terry and friends from Joe. Terry, your Outrageous Pumpkins Food Network Halloween special from last year is on today, starting at 3 p.m. Eastern or noon on the West Coast, right after we finish here today. Yes, hopefully I probably will get off early because, they are. You bring up a great thing, Joe. Thank you for shaking me out of this whole thing. Outrageous Pumpkins season 2 is going to be airing today. He's right. They're going to do a countdown to season 3, and season 3 will air Sunday, October 2nd. And I got to tell you, my website's almost ready, not perfect, but my designer, his name is John. I had a couple of designers, but the one who's finishing it up, his name is John. And John is amazing, because John says your website's never done. It's never perfect. So just get it up there. So I did a few changes. And one of the things is I updated a lot of really old stuff that was still on there. I'm still in process of doing it because I want to get it there. But my point is, you'll be able to go to my website, click event schedule, click Outrageous Pumpkins, and get a time listing for all the shows. Okay. Season 2, you'll have to go to theirs, but I mean, all of season 3. And I also include Pacific, because the funny thing about the Food Network is they're mostly East Coast. So they do 10 o'clock, 9 Central, but then they don't tell you Pacific time. We have to figure it out. And with me, who's like not that great with math, I have to figure it out. But I went ahead and figured it all out, and we'll post it on my website so you don't have to. And I will let you know when that's going to happen. I started yesterday to fix everything, to rechange and move some things around, to update some pictures, just basically clean it up a little bit, because they don't know. The web designer doesn't know if you don't send it to them. So look for that. I will keep you posted. But he is right. Today at noon, if you want to go over there and see last year's show, you can. Thank you, Joe. I was asleep during the funeral, but I woke up in time to see the caravan going through Windsor and into Windsor Castle and the final farewell in St. George's Chapel. I found the BBC YouTube stream so maybe I can watch what I missed later. Yes, you can. I'm sure you can. But that was the BBC. I didn't watch it on YouTube. I watched it live from the BBC. And if you've got a big TV, this is definitely the time to be watching it on a big TV because the photography is unflipping believable. Those cameras are wow. And I'm watching and I'm not sure how they're shooting some of this, but very impressive. Just a lot of things to look at and fall in love with. Just great. And the commentator is mwah. I mean, he just does such a beautiful job. And there's so many that could take from there. I love how the heads of state will sit behind the monarch staff and other nations' royals. It's just overall, everything is such detailed. I could not get over it. I've never seen anything like this before in my life because I wanted to go to the Queen's Platinum Jubilee, but of course was not able to make that. And I've never seen a funeral. So this is my first, and it's a big one, obviously, and it's just stunning. I know the Queen is very proud as she looked down and saw how everyone treated her so beautifully. Fabulous broadcast, professional and dignified. Yes, Diane, I agree. Just there, it's more than tongue can tell. You just can't believe that you are there and that the pictures are that crisp, clean, and beautiful. I'm also having a cup of tea. There it is. Me too, Evan. Liz, hello. Disney does castles and princesses beautifully, but the real ones are sublime. I couldn't have said it better myself, Liz. And I'm so glad you're in your home for this, but I know that you wouldn't have missed it for the world. You guys have helped me see. I always like seeing a person's country through their eyes, and I love it. I have to thank Liz Reed. I have to thank Damian Morley, who's always been a perfect host and so lovely, and him and his daughter showing me such lovely parts of London that are special. But then Bella, Jenna, and all of their family, wowzer, and I want to go next year, but my two dear friends, Andreas and Sally, say, wait to see if it's a good time to go. Don't book it yet, they keep telling me. Wait, let us give you a report on a good time to come. So they're saying because they know how Lindsay is high risk, they'd like to see Lindsay, my husband, too. So they're all saying, we want you to come. We want you to feel safe, but don't book just yet. So I'm following them. I love seeing it through them. And then I'm hoping I can go see Anna Diaz as well, that we can keep enough time that we can go swing by where she lives. She said she might be able to come and see us, but she might not. So we'll see if we can go see her. I've never been to where she is. Where's she? Portugal? Anyway, I'm so bad today. I just haven't had sleep. I'm going to use that as my excuse, Liz, but I'm dying to see you all, basically. Michelle as well. I mean, Michelle and I had this whole thing planned where I was going to talk to her students. We were going to do some cool stuff. And then, of course, the pandemic hit. So hopefully we can help Michelle as well. But all of you, if I haven't named you, you're in my heart. And just yell at me here and I'll fix that. Missed the funeral, but saw a lot of the motorcade coverage. It's going to be all day, so you haven't missed it. I think it will rule the day. Pardon how I say that, but I think that's going to be the day's event of today. So I'm afraid that this National Pirates Day is kind of out of luck. They're going to play a second seat to it, I'm afraid. Fortnum and Mason's Her Majesty's favorite brand. I didn't know that. I did not know that. Connie Lane, I love seeing your photos from D23. I wish I could meet you too. You seem to be the queen of Disneyland. She's a lovely lady. And we got to get you out here, Liz, so that we can make sure you guys connect because we had a great time. She is a love. Yeah, she is just a doll baby. Did you see? I'm gonna post on the Patreon page. What? Did I not tell you about Patreon? See, I got Queen on the brain. Here you go, everyone. It wouldn't be me if I didn't tell you to be a part of our Terry's tribe. People, like-minded people, sharing and being kind and good to each other, including the amazing Connie Lane and other wonderful people from all over the world. $5 a month. Try it for a month, see if you like it. And if you don't like it, you know you can always leave and I won't be heartbroken. It's up to you if you don't like it. But I think you're going to love it because it's a great group of people. They're wonderful and we chatter away. We can be a bit Disney centric, but all you have to do is talk about something that you love and let us know that Disney may be a little spot in your heart, but not as big as a lot of people. So don't not go because you're worried that you're not going to fit in. You will fit in because this is for unicorns. This is a place for unicorns, Terry Tribe, for creative individuals of all walks of life, mathematicians, and we've got a friend of mine. He works for JPL, which is really exciting. I can't wait for him to be able to tell us what he can. And all kinds of things like that. It's just so many wonderful people under one roof. I hope you will think about joining us. It's just a beautiful, beautiful place. And many of the people that I said I talked to today about the Queen are from the UK because I like seeing it through their eyes. And everyone is generous, everyone's sweet, everyone's kind, everyone's generous. So I hope that you will consider joining. Go to patreon.com/Terry Harden or just go to the Patreon page and type my name in the search box and you'll find me. $5 a month is all it takes. You need to have skin in the game. If I'm going to be there, I need to know that you are vested as well. So there you go. That was great. Thank you so much for that segue. As I come back up and find out where I left off. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, right here with Liz talking about how lovely Connie Lane is. And like I said, we do these dinners, gatherings with the tribe, and we'll have to make sure everyone would love to host you, Liz, when you come over. Paul says, "Good morning, Terry. I started watching the funeral last night when I should have been sleeping." Oh, you're the one I looked over and saw, Paul, bleary-eyed while I'm drinking tea. Then got to work a little late watching the BBC's feed. I was really impressed by all of it. Me too. And Paul, I got to tell you, I couldn't take my eyes off. I kept falling asleep in the middle. But that's part of the fun of doing something that's like that. I knew I was going to do it. Sometimes that happens with the launch of a spacecraft, doesn't it? I mean, isn't it nice to say that sometimes it's so early in the morning that you're getting up to watch a spacecraft leave the Earth? Like, whoa, because for the longest time I wasn't able to say that, was I? And were we? No. And so this was super special to me. Here in America, I know it's not all roses and gold, but for me today, I'm just going to let it be roses and gold today because wow, it just wow, yeah. So silver is 25. So that's the one I went to, was the Silver Jubilee. They had something before that, didn't they, Liz? Or am I off? I see. I'm talking to the experts now. This is the way to do it. Thank you, Liz, for correcting me and making it right. I just love your face, so expressive. Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it really is exciting, isn't it? Terry, do you know the significance of the piece was of red fabric that King Charles placed on the coffin after the scepter, orb, and crown were removed? Also, the breaking of the long wooden sticks that were then also placed on the red fabric. Thanks. It was all very fascinating to me. Those are questions for Liz. So we'll ask Liz Reed if she can tell us. And if she can't, we'll go back because the commentator did a lot of talking. But what you saw here, like I did see the cloth you're talking about. I saw that and I don't remember if he said anything. And then also the sticks. I saw that happen too, but I don't remember if he said anything. So we'll see if Liz knows, and if not, I'll ask my friend Damien, because he's a big royal family. He studies them, so we'll find out. Because I don't. It just looked cool though, didn't it? Weren't you, Liz? Like, wow! I mean, yeah. Good morning. Hello there, Michael. Good to see you. Yes, I know you are. Sorry to have missed meeting you at the expo one day. Well, Lynn, we'll just have to make sure we connect at a different time. But I'm sorry I missed you too. Yeah, I only went Friday. So if you went Saturday or Sunday, that's why you missed me. Because Sunday I gave my pass away to the wife of a good friend, and my good friend Joshua Schaefer. I gave it to Ashley, and I think they had a good time. I wrote to her and asked her if she had a good time, and I just thought that was the good thing to do. And I got some much needed rest. But I'm sorry I missed you too, Lynn. I'm going to the park today, meeting up with relatives from Sacramento at last. I slept through the Queen's procession. Have a good day, peeps. You too, my friend, and you'll see it later. Like many have said, it's on YouTube. Watch the BBC feed on YouTube, because the BBC feed was by far so impressive. I'm not saying the others were not. I recorded it on another channel so I could compare. I'm just weird that way. But I want to see how we handled it versus how they did. They're going to trump us, of course. No, that's not the right word. They're going to beat us out, of course. And they're going to be able to show us that, I mean, it's their queen after all. They're going to show us how it's done, isn't it? It's okay to be one-upped when it's their queen, right? Right. Liz says the only thing missing from Windsor Castle is a pet dragon in the dungeons. I think it's a job for you, Terry. I'd love to do that. Do you think they'd go for it? I'm there. I'll make it beautiful. I will make it fabulous just for them. Royal family, here we come. If you want it, call me. I can make that happen. Damian Marley, hey, I'm friends with him. He's a doll. He's a really good guy. Yeah, he and I, last time I was in London, he took me to see the Harry Potter actual exhibits, the film exhibits. And I went with his daughters. They were all dressed like they were wizards, and their kids were just so adorable. I shouldn't say kids, because he has a lovely older daughter, and Emma, anyway, she is fantastic, and she is she takes care of so many things in the family. She's a real step up young lady. And she just was a pleasure, as was the little daughter. I want to say Annabelle. Forgive me, Damien, if you're watching and I'm messing up your kids' names, because I have had like this much sleep because I was watching the procession and I should have been sleeping and waiting till later. I mean, I did record it, but I just couldn't. I wanted to watch it live. I just wanted to be a part of it with everybody. I felt like my hands were across the pond with you guys in the UK, and that's a really cool feeling. I miss you guys over there. I got lots of friends over there, and I really miss seeing you all. So I felt I just wanted to stay up and see it with you. Michelle, the cloth is a flag the military used to signify the actual location of their leader, and the staff is a symbol of the office of a person working for the Queen. Breaking the staff and placing the flag on the coffin signify that the end of her reign and the people's duty to serve her. Oh, Paul, you said that so well. I want to keep that. It's wonderful. Thank you, because I did not know what that meant. I think he probably said, but I think at that time I was migrating to broadcast, so I'm really grateful. Thank you for sharing that. Wow, that's awesome. You love that, right, Michelle? I just love that. Paul, thank you for explaining this to me. Pirates and Princesses is the way Disney mashes things together. Arr, matey. Yes, isn't it? Today is National Pirates Our Day or something. Anyway, on my Patreon page, the tribe mentioned it to me, and I said, I just can't get into it today. I'm kind of in a different mindset. But you're right, Leo. The mashup kind of works, doesn't it? It's weird, but yeah. David, hello. The breaking of the staff was breaking oath of alliance to the Queen now that she has passed. Red cloth was the Queen's regimental colors. Thank you, David. And by the way, that last name, David Skipper, is really good. Michelle, the red fabric King Charles put on the coffin was the Queen S Company camp color. It's a regimental flag that will now be changed to reflect the new king. Liz, I like the way you said that too. You guys keep them coming, keep them coming. I'm loving this. Thank you, Liz. You're awesome. Thank you, everyone. You are awesome. Walt and Hence would love you, Terry. One foot in the past, the monarchy with the other in the future, NASA and space exploration. Yes, Leo. In fact, John Hench and I were really good friends. He was supposed to come to my wedding. Then he took a fall and passed before he could come to the wedding. But we were really good friends. I would sit in his office, and he often told me I was a source of amusement. Was that true? Was that a compliment? I took it as one. John Hench was a real love. He had a lovely office, and he, of course, told me the story I've often told you guys about the rescue boats on the Disney cruise lines and their color. And how John Hench would not have that ugly orange color that all the other ships have for the rescue boats. Now, did I point out that that color is regulation, but only someone like John Hench and Disney could have them change it? And he told me it went something like, no, now you must work with me and show me how close we can get to what you will approve of, but will work with my cruise ships. And hence that pretty yellow color that coordinates with the Disney cruise lines. That's a true story. It's all John Hench. Yep. All John Hench. The breaking of the staff was breaking oath of alliance to the Queen. Now that she has passed, the red cloth was the Queen's regimental colors. Thank you again, David. Michelle, the wooden stick that was broken was the Lord Chamberlain's wand of office. It was once used to discipline courtiers, only with a tap. It was broken because the office ends with the Queen and they get a new one with King Charles. Ooh, Liz, I like the way you explain that. You guys got to just all chime in because I love hearing every single. It's similar, right, guys? But it's the way they tell it that makes it very, very enchanting, doesn't it? Yes, it really does. It's fantastic. Met a lady at church yesterday who was willing to teach me the correct way to curtsy. She was so sweet. Connie, absolutely. All of this extremely important. So I will leave you with a story. Dom Judi Dench was in a movie that I went to see, and she spoke afterwards. Well, once everyone had left the theater, she was on stage, and I ran up to tell her how much of a fan I am and how much I love her body of work. And she invited me, and there was another actress there, a girl, very young, and we jumped up on the stage with her, and for 20 minutes, even though Dom Judi Dench's assistant kept saying, we got to go, Judy just held her hand up like this and said, I've got 20 minutes, stand down, which shows you real, true kindness and dignity and the understanding of which side your bread is buttered on, for real. And we sat there with her and we talked about her, and I asked her about becoming a dom or dame. Dame sounds like gotta have a dame, something out of Guys and Dolls. So I hope it's dom because I just think it sounds better. But she told me that it was enchanting meeting the Queen, that she's funny and that she has she's kind, she's got authority because she is the Queen, so you can't get too familiar, but she enjoyed very much meeting her, and they shared tea, as I understand. But it was so exciting to hear it. As I've told you before, I like to hear it from someone who's actually experienced it. So do I wish I would have had such an opportunity? Of course I do. But I really, really enjoy hearing from others what it was like to be in her presence and in the presence of some of the others. And wowzer, just wowzer. Just wowzer. And congratulations, Connie. That's something we all could use, a good curtsy teacher. Our matey. Let's see. The Queen be in heaven now. God save the King. Joe has a way of mashing things up too. Did you see that, guys? Yeah. Yeah. And we're going to end on that note. I'm going to skitter away. I want to go watch some more. And I know you guys have a day to complete. Mondays are crazy for me. So I'm going to get myself ready and be prepared for a crazy day today. A lot to do with my father and my mom. Well, my mom is tomorrow, but lots of stuff that I've got to take care of today. And I have a lot of things to do before the DisCon. So I love you guys. Thank you for joining me today. I know it was going to be a small group because we're all watching this thing, and super, super, super cool. Everybody have a good day. Have a great day. I love you. Do something nice for someone else. It'll make you feel a whole lot better. So if you're in that dark area of depression or sadness, just go and act as if you're happy. Do something nice. Call someone that you haven't talked to in a while and wish them well. Send them a message if that's easier, but just let them know that you're thinking about them, that you love them. Or if you do have a couple of bucks, go through a Starbucks and buy the guy behind you's coffee. It doesn't take much. The other day when I was buying orchids for my mother for her birthday, I spoke with the lady at the counter and made her laugh because it was a very crazy day. Oftentimes, when you're at the market, there's only one or two people for thousands of others, and they all get mad and angry. And I just made her laugh. So it doesn't necessarily have to cost you something to do something nice. And then that warmth is going to start, much like the Grinch's heart getting bigger, only it'll be like a warming balm on you to remind you that your heart has always been big. I love you guys. Be well. Zoom call Wednesday for the tribe. Yes, I will email it out tomorrow. Robin Newton taught us how to speak like a pirate. There you go. See, that's the person to find if you need to speak like a pirate today. Okay. We watched it too. So majestic. Sorry for the family. It's not easy for anyone to lose their parents. And I thought the king handled himself very, very well because as a royal, I guess it's not very royal to cry. However, I think it's too bad because I think he has a right. But he's the king after all, so he wanted to show strength. He did a great job. I'm really looking forward to hear what he has to say. Have a good day, everyone, and a great week. Thank you, Joe. Bye for now. I'm going to wave here forever.